I recently watched the Super Mario Bros. Movie, so I thought I could make a review about it. Now, this isn't the first time Mario has made a movie. Everybody is familiar with the live-action movie that came out in 1993. And needless to say,
Super Mario Brothers. This ain't no game.
it wasn't well liked. When I heard an animated movie was in the works, I was intrigued. For those who don't know, I'm a big fan of the Mario franchise, so if they made an animated movie, it could be very fun. But there was one thing that made me very skeptical. Nintendo was working with Illumination.
Wow! Illumination!
I don't hate Illumination, I just don't take them as seriously as early Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks, or even Sony for that matter. And things only got worse when I saw the cast. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how laughable the casting choices were.
First, of course, is Mario. Who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
What?
Who will be played by Chris Pratt.
What?
Who will be... He's so cool.
What?
Oh, no!
Is
What? Star-Lord
played
is
by Chris-
f***ing Mario. What the f***?
Please look forward to Mario's performance.
What?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
No way.
What?
Who will be played by Chris...
For a while, even though I was skeptical, I would still give the movie a chance when it came out. So, is it as good as the fans say, or is it as bad as the critics say? Let's find out. The plot of the Super Mario Bros. Movie follows Mario and Luigi, two brothers who live in Brooklyn. They try to start their own plumbing business. Later on, they try to fix a manhole, but shocker, they don't fix it. While roaming around in the sewers, they find a warp pipe, which they both get sucked into, but they end up separating, with Mario going to the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi going to the Darklands, in which he encounters some dry bones, but then he gets captured by some Shy Guys who work for Bowser. We cut back to the Mushroom Kingdom, where it turns out that Princess Peach is trying to stop Bowser from destroying the kingdom, and she needs help from the Kongs in order to stop him and his army. As for the Koopa King himself, Bowser has plans to marry Peach. They literally took the plot from Super Mario Odyssey. That's amazing. But if she doesn't marry him, he'll use the star he acquired at the start of the movie to destroy the kingdom. And yeah, that's basically the plot. Now let's talk about the things I liked, because there's a lot. Unlike Illumination's other films, which usually have a budget of around $60 million to $70 million, this is the only film out of their entire catalog that has a budget of $100 million. And I gotta say, it shows. You really get the sense that the animators were trying their hardest, and I say it paid off because the animation looks pretty nice. They even went out of their way to include neat visual gags and some references to the games. Much like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, this is a very colorful movie. It really captures the spirit of the games. The most important thing I appreciated was that they kept the characters intact. Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Bowser, and his minions stay pretty consistent with who they are. Mario stays as brave, daring, and athletic as possible. Luigi is cowardly, but he still has his moments to shine. Donkey Kong is pretty funny, and Bowser is without a doubt the best element of this movie, and much like everyone else, his character stays consistent with the games. There are two characters that seem a little bit different from their video game counterparts. Peach clearly had a personality change, going from a damsel in distress to a much more capable and assertive leader. Many people have called this woke SJW propaganda, but honestly, I'm pretty cool with it. And in the games, especially Mario 3D World, you get to play as Peach, who gets to fight alongside Mario and the group, so I don't really mind that they've turned her into this. Although I have seen a lot of people say that she's basically Daisy, and I can understand where they're coming from. Toad was not that funny to me personally. He was a little obnoxious, but thankfully they kept him restrained. And even though they're not that important, I like how they show Mario's family. So the animation and characters are fun, but I think some of the best moments in the movie are the training sequence, the fight between Mario and Donkey Kong, the characters driving on Rainbow Road, and the final fight was really fun. I know I said this before, but it really captures the spirit of the games, from Super Mario Bros. To Mario Kart and to Mario Party. Whether it's showing the different locations or showing the numerous power-ups that the characters use. Whether it's the Super Mushroom, the Mini Mushroom, the Fire Flower, the Ice Flower, the Starman, the Tanuki Leaf, and the Super Bell. God, a lot of things from the games are implemented into this movie. And I didn't even mention the music. Hats off to the orchestra, the choir, and the band. They did a great job recreating music from the games. I would play some music tracks for you, but I don't want this video to get copyright claimed, so I recommend you look up the soundtrack for the movie. Seriously, it'll make you feel quite nostalgic. And as for the voice cast, I think everyone did a decent job. Do they sound like their video game counterparts?
No. Hell no.
But I feel like they did a good enough job with the material they were given. The best ones are Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, the guy who plays Cranky Kong, and, shocker, Jack Black as Bowser. The mediocre ones were Chris Pratt as Mario and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. And the weakest ones are Charlie Day as Luigi and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. But still, pretty good acting all around. Much like Avengers Endgame, this movie is made clearly for the fans. It's made for people who've been a fan of Mario for many years. It was made by people who clearly love the IP, and they didn't want to butcher it with their own selfish needs. And given the fact that we live in a day and age where beloved franchises are being destroyed for selfish and pandering interests, that's a rare sight indeed. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule, and Mario has been added to that list. Okay, I've showered my praises, now it's time to criticize this. The story is very bare bones. Even though walking into this movie, I knew the story wasn't going to be that great because it's a Mario movie. The Mario franchise is not known for its narrative. The story has always been a background element, and the most important thing about the Mario games is how fun it is, the level design, the power-ups, etc. But it's still a problem regardless. And there are some moments in this movie that are basically pointless. For example, Peach, Mario, and Toad go all the way to the Kong Kingdom to get their help, but after Bowser's crew ambushes them at Rainbow Road, the Kong army gets kidnapped.
Whoa. This is worthless.
There are some character arcs that feel a little bit rushed, whether it's the feud between Mario and Donkey Kong or Luigi trying to be brave. And although I do love Bowser's song Peaches, it felt like it was only put in there for the sake of padding out the runtime. Although I praise the music for recreating renditions from the Mario games, there are moments where they do use modern songs and it feels a little out of place. Whether it's Sleep Till Brooklyn, I Need a Hero, Take On Me, Thunderstruck, and Mr. Blue. But at the very least, these songs don't overstay their welcomes, so that's a plus. Okay, calling it a controversy is blowing it a little out of proportion, but it's still worth talking about. While fans and YouTubers seem to like this movie pretty okay, the critics ripped this one to shreds, saying that the film has little to no substance, it does the bare minimum, they bitched about its story, claiming it's a bunch of stupid colors, and, my favorite, it's nothing but fan service. You guys do know that this is a Mario movie, right? I think the problem with these critics is that they're expecting way too much out of this movie. If you played the games, then you should already know what you're going to expect with this film. The reason why I'm not as disappointed with this movie as much as the critics are is that I wasn't expecting Shakespeare level writing. I was expecting a dumb fun movie, and that's exactly what I got. Although there are criticisms I do agree with, I don't understand the argument that it does the bare minimum. Compared to Illumination's other works, this movie clearly has much more time and effort put into it, and to discredit all the hard work that the crew put into this is really insulting. I've seen a bunch of movies that only put in the bare minimum and only care about making money, and this movie is not one of them. Do they care about money? Yes, but I actually felt like they put their best foot forward when it came to this project. So all in all, I'd say the Super Mario movie is pretty good. Is it a masterpiece? No. Is it deep and complex? No. Is it Oscar worthy? Hell fucking no. But it doesn't need to be. If you've played the games and you're familiar with the franchise, then you know what to expect from this movie. If you're a critic that's expecting something more from this movie, then you better steer clear, because this movie is not made for critics, and it's not made for cynical smartasses like YMS. This is a movie that's made specifically for the fans. And even if you're not familiar with the Mario games, you should still have a fun time with this. Kids will definitely have a fun time with it, so I recommend you go check it out. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Mario movie. What did you guys think of the film? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. But before I go, Grace Randolph, you need to play some Mario games because, woman, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
When could Mario turn into a cat? I guess, like, if you're into furries, that works. And maybe that'll play really well in Asian markets. I know.
Yeah, she's right. What a stupid fucking movie.
What the fuck?